Well, good morning, everybody. And as you can see, I'm coming in just a little bit late. And it's because I've been out um, getting some video this morning of the flooding that's around the area. So I've been doing that for my own sake and also for News 40, of course. And then there's been some other places like Weather Nation and the Weather Channel and stuff has asked me for my videos, and so I've been uploading and doing all that stuff this morning. So it's been a busy morning. But anyway, here we are. It is Friday, April 4th. You didn't see me change the date. I had it ready to go when I went live. Yeah. Anyway, welcome into 270 weather. Weather for the 270 area code and beyond. And anywhere you go in the 270, there is flooding. And we're likely to see more flooding as we go through time. We're getting a break right now. So I want you to understand uh, that this event, which the National Weather Service is labeling as life threatening and catastrophic, also historic. Those are the three terms from the National Weather Service about this event, but it's not over. It is not over. Even though right now we're even trying to see a little bit of sun coming through the clouds and the rains have shut off here in Bowling Green and in southern Kentucky, we are not done. So, we could have a few thunderstorms pop off this afternoon as we're now under the very warm layer of air. There's a warm front now. The boundary that was sitting over us the last couple of days has moved north and a little west. But tomorrow, it's going to come back our direction, and we're going to get some very heavy rain all over again. Let's look outside here at just after 10:08 a.m. and you can see it's cloudy for the moment, but I've seen some breaks in the sun coming through just a few minutes ago, and the rains have shut off here in Bowling Green and in Plano and other locations. So I've been out all morning since about 7, getting some video of things going on in places that have been flooded. I mean, there's water everywhere, lots of water. And the problem is we're going to get more, a lot more. And by the time we're done, we're going to be looking at some incredible rainfall numbers. And I'll show you in a moment some of those numbers already from the Kentucky Mesonet sensors and from the Weather Service. It's just crazy. Okay, here's one of those. Yesterday's high 67, which by the way was exactly on the normal. That's where we should be for a high temperature here at the beginning of April. The low is 55, but look at the rainfall. 2.93 inches of rain for the 24-hour period at the Bowling Green Airport. That is a brand new record for April 3rd. The previous record is 1.8, and that was set back in 2008. That's crazy. I mean, we've seen those kind of rainfalls before, but when you start to add things up day after day, and it's been kind of like that, 2 inches, 3 inches. There's some locations 4, even 5 inches of rain in a 24-hour period. And then that happens for several days. Then you've got some major problems. And we do. So let's get to it this morning. I didn't mean to blow my face up like that right in front of you. But let's go to the Kentucky. Here's what I meant to call up right here. The Kentucky Mesonet Network. There we go. Now my face is not so big. And we'll get to the numbers here. And there are some impressive numbers. First of all, You can see that the warm front is just north of Bowling Green. Here's Bowling Green, and look at us. We're at 71. Franklin is at 73. Scottsville is at 74. But just right up the road, and all you have to do is go up to Morgantown. You're 10 degrees cooler than it is right now in Bowling Green here at 11 minutes after 10 a.m. on this finally Friday. 10 degrees cooler. Well, you can go up a few counties more, and we're 15 degrees cooler and even almost 20 degrees cooler. That is the warm front right there. It has pushed that boundary that has been sitting here and producing the rain, allowing that rain to just come over, come over, come over, come over the same area. It has now pushed northward. So we're going to be in a very warm, humid sector today for the rest of today here in southern Kentucky, while north of us is going to get some of that very heavy rain. In fact, they're getting it now. I'll turn on the radar and see that. That is exactly where the warm front is. So that's where the heavy rains are going to be today. So here in southern Kentucky, we're going to have a little bit of a break. Not much, but a little bit. Now, we're not quite out of the woods yet because with the added warmth and the sun coming out and the moisture content and the instability, we could have some thunderstorms this afternoon in Bowling Green and southern Kentucky and the 270 and the 606 probably because the sun has come out and it's heating up that available moisture, and we could have these thunderstorms that pop up this afternoon. Some of them could be strong, some of them maybe could be severe. But the severe weather threat, it's there. I'll show you. But it's not as high as it has been lately. So let's go to the rainfall, precipitation, and boy, oh boy, huh, this is just since midnight. 3.77 inches of rain in Morgantown in Butler County, almost 3 in Bowling Green at the Corvette plant, Bowling Green South at the Ag Expo plant or Ag Expo Center, 2.5 inches. And look at this, hardly nothing in Franklin or Scottsville or Tompkinsville or Burkesville. I mean, there was a sharp cutoff. That's the front. The front just laid right there yesterday, and this is where all the rain fell. So you guys down southeast of us are like, what rain? What heavy rain are you talking about? We didn't get any. Uh, it just depended on where you were. But look, that's incredible. 2, 3, 4. Look at that. 4.25 inches of rain in Hopkinsville yesterday. 4.33 inches of rain in Trigg County. That would be Cadiz. And then another cutoff here with lesser amounts to the west. But now get ready to be astonished. That's just since midnight. Let's go past 24 hours. You ready? My goodness. Here in Bowling Green, 4.25, 4.5, 4.5 Barron County, 4.33, Russellville, Logan County. But look at this, 5.33 inches for the 2-day period. Well, actually 24-hour period, not 2-day. I'm going to show you that too. 5.33 inches total for the last 24 hours in Morgantown in Butler County. 5.5 inches of rain in Litchfield in Grayson County. 5.19, that's in Muhlenberg County. Then you see 5.87, that's Hopkinsville, Christian County. 5.8, approaching 6 inches of rain in just a 24-hour period, one day. There in Trigg County. And then you go back, I think that's Marshall County. Yep. Benton, Kentucky, 5.83. So where you see the black, that is over 5 inches of rain in just one day. Okay. That's pretty amazing. Look at all that. That's why we have the flooding. But let's go. And this is why I love the Kentucky Mesonet. It's keeping up with 2-day rainfall totals. That would be the last 48 hours, 2 days. Here we go. Boom. Oh, Lordy. Whew. Okay. Here we go in Warren County, right at 6 inches of rain for the 2-day period. Almost 8 inches of rain in Butler County, near Morgantown. It did reach 8 inches of rain in Litchfield, in Grayson County. Look at all these fives, sixes, seven. That's 7.36 inches over the last 2 days in Metcalfe County. 6.15 in Barron County. 6.84 Russell County. Over 8.5 inches in Hopkinsville, Christian County. 7 inches in Muhlenberg County. 8.21 in Trigg County. 8.75 inches of rain last 2 days in Marshall County. That's Benton, Kentucky. Now you know why there's flood warnings. Now you know why there's high water everywhere. We said before this event started, there would be at least 5 to 7 inches of rain total. Well, guess what? We're going to exceed that. By the time we're done with the storms that we're expecting and more heavy rain tomorrow's going to be one of the worst days of continual heavy rain. Think about what these numbers are going to show. I would say 9, 10, maybe 11. There would be maybe some locations back to the west of us that will get totals of over 1 foot of rainfall. That's why it's being called life-threatening. That's why it's being called historic. And that's why it's being called catastrophic. And we're not done. That's the thing. We're not done. It's going to keep coming. Even though we're getting a cutoff and a little break right now, it is going to keep coming. I want you to look at the dew points. Look at the amount of moisture in the air. South of the warm front, well into the 60s, even some locations approaching 70-degree dew points. That is healthy, but really high moisture content. It's not going away. Even though we're getting a break right now, it's not going away. We're going to get maybe some thunderstorms this afternoon, but the heavy, heavy rain that we've been receiving for the past several days is going to come back tomorrow. All right. Let's move on. Let's look at radar, and I'll show you where everything is right now. Let me find it on my list. Here we go. Let me pull it up. There we go. Now you can see where all the heavy rain, and notice how it's lifting north of Bowling Green, southern Kentucky. That's the warm front. It's just doing a flex. It's doing kind of a wobble. It's going to be flexing back and forth. Today it's going to be north, but then it's going to come south tomorrow. And all of that very heavy rain that you see is going to come back to Bowling Green and southern Kentucky and the 270. Right now, that's where it is. How about all the bulletins, all the warnings? My goodness. Flood watch all the way through Sunday morning for the entire area. but you can see we've got flood warnings, river flood warnings, flood advisories. Almost every single county is under some type of flood advisory warning. You know, it's and they go away for a little bit and then they come back. Expect more flood warnings now north of us because of that northward movement of the rain. But all of that, and you see all this back west, all of that, plus there's more that you can't see. Oh, let me see if I can show you. Look at all this. Okay, this back at Tulsa, Oklahoma City, Springfield, Missouri. This is what's going to run into all the available moisture and then some of this north of us as the front comes back south. All of that is going to come back into southern Kentucky tomorrow. Uh, there's no way we're going to escape that. All right. Let me show you the briefing from the National Weather Service, which covers a lot of things. And then you'll be able to, whoops, that's not what I wanted to, that's it, but I didn't want to show it to you that way. Let me go back so I can pull this up where you can see it. Yeah, there we go. Now, uh, this is the severe weather outlook for today. And notice everything is west of us. It is, yeah, we have a level 1 marginal risk, and that's because, as I mentioned, we're now under that very warm sector. It's going to get into the low 80s this afternoon. And with all that moisture and if the sun comes out a little bit more, I think that's going to pop a few renegade showers and storms. And some of those could be pretty strong or even slightly severe. So that's why they put us under that category 1 dark green marginal risk. But notice where the slight, the enhanced, and the elevated, the 2, 3, 4 risk is back in the southern Indiana, Illinois, far western Kentucky, and then you get that level 4 southern Missouri and much of Arkansas. That's those storms that I showed you on radar just back to the west. So the good news is not so much of a severe weather threat today. It will return for tomorrow. And so but here's the thing, we could have a few storms this afternoon that pop up. Some of those might be severe. Might. There's the severe weather or the tornado threat. It's really far away from us. There's just a 2% chance we could see something here, but confidence is in that is not very high. Here is the straight line wind threat, only about 5% today. If a thunderstorm pops up, turns severe, we could have a little bit of damaging wind, but the higher threat today is to the west, and so is the hail threat. This is for today. All right. Now, this is tomorrow. This is Saturday. And notice we are back in the level 2 slight risk for the entire 270, the 615, the 606, um, pretty much everybody. The 502s included in that, the 384. I mean, they're all those area codes under that level 2 slight risk. It goes level 3 into western Tennessee. This is tomorrow, mainly tomorrow afternoon and evening. The most likely times for the severe weather, confidence is medium, but it may go a little higher tomorrow. Some of the very heavy rain may cut down on the severity of the storms, but not by much. And of course, the flood threat is going to be there too. Here is Sunday. There's even a level 1 marginal risk into far eastern Kentucky and just a garden variety risk here in southern Kentucky as the system finally moves away. But we're going to have to wait till Sunday before all of this is over. There's a lot that's going to happen the next 48 hours. Here's a look, notice we've gone over this a few times. Severe weather risk, marginal, slight, enhanced, moderate, high, one, two, three, four, five. The higher the number, the greater the risk of damage, tornadoes, all of that. All right. Here is the flooding threat. Now they go from severe weather to the flooding threat. They're saying and showing that another 3 to 4 inches of rain is likely for the Bowling Green area and much of the Interstate 65 corridor, a little east, a little west. But you don't have to go that far west to be in the 4 to 6 inch additional, keep that in mind, additional rainfall. This is not like total, this is new rainfall, counting whatever happens today and through Sunday morning. Notice it says at the top here, above that, when it says when flooded, turn around, don't drown sign, it says new rainfall forecast. In other words, it's not looking at totals piling up since the last few days and then adding tomorrow. This is just putting in brand new rainfall. High confidence in flooding. Flooding is occurring right now. And as their wording says, potentially life threatening flooding, historic, and could be devastating. Yeah. We've already had a number of water rescues this morning from cars and even in homes up in the Anna Sandhill area. I went by there, but by the time I got here, the waters had receded, but there were a couple of homes that were underwater and people in the houses, and they had to be rescued. And then you may have seen the video. I'll try to pull it up here, but you go to my social media stuff and you'll see the video of cars underwater as you get off Interstate 165 at Russellville Road this morning. Crazy, crazy, crazy stuff. Dangerous too. Deadly if you're not careful. Here's today's excessive rainfall outlook. Here is Bowling Green in the, lower category, the marginal risk. That's just in case we do get a few storms this afternoon. But notice the higher threat has shifted west. Um, so it says Saturday, but really that's today. That just didn't change the date on this. Now let's look at Saturday, in which that threat is back over our area. Look at that. We're in the moderate and almost in the high risk area for what they call excessive rainfall. And that's where, we're going to get several inches of rain, as you saw, another 4, 5, or 6 inches of rain or more new rainfall is coming our way. It's not going to leave us until we get into Sunday. As you can see, all the heavy rain then moves off to the east. So we're still under the dangerous threat for considerable flood damage and high waters for the next 48 hours or more. And there are your levels: marginal, slight, moderate, high. And yeah, numerous floods. There, here's the thing: it's going to take a while for all these floods to go down the rivers. In fact, there's the moderate and major flood outlook, and we're still here, southern Kentucky, Barron River, Drakes Creek, Trammell Creek, Green River, Rough River. Then you go south into Tennessee, even places along the Cumberland and Tennessee rivers also. Notice over in eastern Kentucky, everything is still in the green, what they call the normal flow. But in our area and north and west, moderate to major flooding still happening right now and will continue in the coming days. Flooding, just don't drive through the floodwaters at night. It's impossible to see any of that. Okay. So there's your update on that. So let me go on to, let's see, let me pull up this graphic, which is, this is from, wait a minute, where'd it go? Sorry. There it is. So this is the rainfall potential from the WPC, the Weather Prediction Center. And this is over the next week. So you can see here's, let me pull up. Here's Bowling Green right in there. We are in that kind of a butterscotch color, I'll call it. You go over here to the scale, and we're looking at 5 to 7, in between 5 and 7 inches of additional rainfall. Now, it does count a little bit of rain that we're looking at coming in for next Thursday, but that's it. Everything else is just the rain for today, tomorrow, and early Sunday. So 5 to 7 new inches of rain. And look how much of a big area that is. The heaviest new rainfall is going to take place Arkansas, Boot Hill in Missouri, maybe Western Kentucky, Tennessee. We're talking there of 7 to 10 inches of new rainfall. And then there's that one little yellow spot. Looks like it might be just right there at Little Rock or maybe Hot Springs, Arkansas. If we just kind of just guessing where that is, that would be 10 to 15 inches of new rainfall. In other words, a foot, 1 foot of new rain. Wow. All right. Let's go to some other graphics that you're more used to looking at. If I could get it to click on what I want it to. Let me show you. Da, da, da. Yeah, let's go to satellite. I haven't shown that yet. So this is high resolution satellite. Here's Bowling Green. You can see that all the really thick clouds and the lightning is all occurring up here. Owensboro, Hardensburg, Litchfield, E-Town, Radcliffe, Bardstown, then up to Louisville, Harrodsburg, Nicholasville, Lebanon, Campbellsville. These are all the locations that are now getting the very heavy rain. But look what's going on here in Bowling Green. We're seeing these little holes opening up, allowing some filtered sunshine to come through. But the warm front, that's to the north of us, and that's where the rain and thunderstorms are. South of that front, there's not much going on, except it's really, really warm now and humid. And it's going to continue to be that way today. Let's go to, sorry, I put my graphics a little bit out of order today because I wanted to add some of these river levels and things like that. So I'm looking for one in particular, but I don't see it in my list. So we'll go on to, oh, there it is. I'm sorry. It was labeled something different. Okay. I want to show you this real quick. Now, this is showing where this is the U.S. Geological Survey. USGS. They also, you know, um, monitor earthquakes and things like that, but they also keep up. They have gauges everywhere across the country to monitor creeks, streams, and rivers. And the National Water Prediction Service, they call it, is, you know, along with them, taking care of all that. Here are flood warnings that are going on across Kentucky. Let me just show you a couple of places. This is Drake's Creek in Alberton. It is now more into the action category today. Action category is 22 feet. It is right at that and going up. As you can see, the time stamp as I move the cursor. And here it is at the moment. It's crested at 32.4 feet, uh, and almost reaching, well, it has reached flood stage, but now it's over flood stage by a few feet. But now it's starting to recede, which is good. So it's starting, as you see right there, and this is now. Okay, so it's starting to come down, but here's the forecast. It's going to go down, and then here it's going to go back up, or it's forecast to go back up because of the rain that's coming in tomorrow and early Sunday. Then give it another day or so, then it goes back down. So these are river flood stages. That's Drake's Creek near Alberton. So it's in the moderate to high category, but here's a high flood warning for the Barren River at Bowling Green. Flood stage is 28 feet, and right now it's at 34.34 feet. So it's 2 feet, almost 2.5 feet above the moderate stage. Moderate flooding is taking place, but it's what? 32, it's 5, 6 feet above flood stage or so. It is going to continue to rise into tomorrow with the additional rain start to fall. That additional rain everywhere else has got to run downstream to the Barren. So it's going to go back up Sunday into Monday, and then it's going to recede under flood stage. So, I mean, we've got problems all over the place. There's the Green River at Woodbury. Look at that. Flood stage is 26 feet. It's right now at 34 and a half. Major flooding occurs at 41 feet, and it's predicted to be, at least 3 to 4 feet above flood stage in the major flooding category by Monday. So what happens is the further west you go, all these little creeks and streams and rivers have all got to run toward the Ohio River. And so the Green River is going to be up for a while. The Ohio River is up, but it's going to be way, way up in coming days. Yeah. All right. I hope you saw that. It looks like it went back to something else. Okay. Here is, maybe this is what you may have not seen this, but here you go. I hope you saw this. I don't know if you did, but yeah, let me get rid of me. I don't need to see that. There we go. So I know I'm going over a lot of stuff here, but I just think it's important for you to see, yeah, what's going on here. And I don't know if I can move this over. I don't guess I can. I may make it smaller so you can see it. Nope, it's not letting me do that. Okay, I wish you could see the graph, but it's not letting me do that. It's way off. You can't see the whole graph, but you get the idea. Anyway. All right. So here is the forecast 7-day forecast, more heavy rain, except today is just going to be a few thunderstorms that may pop up. Now, some of those, excuse me, could produce some brief heavy rain and downpours. Just be aware of that. And a few of those could even turn severe. 81, warm and breezy and humid. The real threat for the strongest thunderstorms comes tomorrow and tomorrow night into early Sunday, when we could pick up an additional 4 to 6 or more inches of rain on top of what we have now, making it a possibly catastrophic flood event. 76 for Saturday, then cooler as the showers begin to move away on Sunday. The front finally moves through. And look how chilly it's going to be at night. A couple of nights, Sunday night, Monday night, maybe Tuesday night, we get down into the 30s and maybe close enough to freezing to maybe, you know, um, do a number on any plants or crops that you have out. There could be some touches of frost possible on those nights if it gets cold enough, but highs will only be in the 50s. Sunshine back on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We begin to warm back into the mid 60s, upper 60s to near 70 by Thursday. And by that time, we are going to have more rain. Right now, it doesn't look like it's going to be flooding rain, but it is going to be more rain. Where am I? I'm supposed to be in this picture. What happened? I think I messed it up somehow. No, that's not what I wanted to show. Where did it go? Oh, okay. There it is. Okay. Let's get rid of this. Now, I just had to hit the right button. Anyway, I know I went long and there was a lot of things I went through. There's just a lot of information. I just wanted to get you as much of it as I possibly could so that you understand the threat. It's big and it's dangerous. So I'll have a update tonight on News 40 at 5, 6, and 10, and on the News 40 weather app. Keep that with you, please, because that app will send you alerts and notifications of lightning, strong storms, flood alerts, all of that. So you know exactly what's going on where you are. It follows your phone. So that way you know. In the meantime, be safe out there, turn around, don't drown, and just pay attention to the weather because it's not over yet. At least this is not over yet. Have a great day. Thanks for watching and God bless.